certainty, and the certainty for me is that this thing is big. This is going somewhere. There's nobody can make me waver from what we have our hands on, other than the big man himself. So with that being said, I'm excited about the week. Absolutely.
No, that
Yeah, great times, Julius. I mean, Julius, your experience in business, right? You've done a lot of things. You worked for the NFL. You're speaking in Washington, D.C., to the politicians, to people about AI. You've been an expert in a lot of fields. You have a great background of education, Julius. So why a guy like you? Why a guy like you is involved in something like this? Tell everybody.
what so Big John, why I get involved in one of those things? Like guys, here I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, it is really this simple, and that's why I talk when I talk to people, it just hits them. See, we in the presentation every night we say this thing like, who do you know that uses electricity, right? And we all probably just glance by it. We just glance by that question. But it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, I'm a consultant. I get paid every hour I work, right? So let's just use a number. Let's use a big number. Let's use a number like $500 an hour. Like, let's use a big number. And you think about that number, and I would leave home on Sunday. I would fly somewhere Sunday, come back Thursday. I wouldn't see my family, wouldn't own my time, in nothing. And when I see this, here's where most people are challenged. When I see this, I remember in my previous company, my first residual check was $24. And at the time, my wife was like, "Why are you so excited?" I said, "Because I did that one time, and it'll keep coming month after month." Because in my mind, I said, if I can make 24, I can make 240. If I can make 240, I can make 24,000. And if I can make 24,000, I can make 240,000. Because I said, are you telling me I can do this one time? I can get a customer. That customer is going to be my customer until they stop using electricity. And I said, this is the kind of business that, because I'm going to probably work another 10 years, another 20 years. And I said, if I can build something that will allow me to make a real residual income. I'm not saying it's easy. All of you on this call today have worked hard. You've worked jobs, you've built companies, Big John, Kirk. I mean, all of you have built and worked for yourself or for other people, but to build something that you know without a doubt that every person will continue to use. And now you have our company with a tool like Community Solar. I said, wait a minute, I'm going to build a team one time. I'm going to build it one time, and it's going to pay me month after month. And guys, I know we shy away, and I really love Big John and Kirk, and they're the most humble guys that you could meet, guys. But here's the thing, is that they didn't come here to do this again for less than $100,000 a month. And they don't say it. We don't talk about that because we want to make sure. It's such a stigma around this industry. People are like, hey, you want to be careful with numbers. But I want you guys to understand there are people on this call that are quiet. Or look, I see Larry there. I mean, these guys have been successful before this. They did not come to make $1,000 a month. Okay. And, they've seen it. They've made millions in this industry, but they see what's happening. And if you can't see your own belief, see ours. Why is John going on the road to New Jersey just to hang out? No, because he sees that he can build it one time for the last time. One more time for the last time. That's why you come out. That's why Kirk comes back. That's why Big John's here. That's why Lisa's on this morning. Because it's one more time. If you have one more time, I'm here because one more time for the last time. That's what it's all about, Big John.
You know what, Julius? I want to get right to I want to do the intro, and then I want you to add in and bring her on because this woman is special. I mean, Julius, you and your wife were at her house.
Yes.
Last week in New Jersey. She made you an outstanding dinner, right?
Outstanding dinner, yes. And dessert.
but here's who Lisa Kenny is, right? My wife and I, she's like family to us. Why? Because she inspires people from her heart. She's all about heart. I love this woman. My wife and I speak to her. Her and my wife are bookends. They're girlfriends. They're best buds. And you come into these businesses, so to speak, right? Let me tell you about the culture. Let me tell you about the relationships. And Lisa is really a staple of what I'm explaining here. How she just reaches so many people and gives her heart out to so many people. And it's my honor and my pleasure to bring her wisdom and her heart on this call this morning. So, Lisa Kenny, we want you to take this away, girlfriend. You got to unmute. Oh, after that intro?
I, oh my gosh, I'm muted. Okay. I'm like, wow, that intro was something, Johnny. I don't even know what to say about it. I wish Jimmy was here right now to hear it, but I don't put makeup on this early for everyone. So I'm just telling you, that's a deal. But I just have a quick funny story to tell you about Big John. Now, when we were up in Maine last year, it was a year ago almost this time, and we're up in Maine, and it's still under contention on who forgot to bring the garment bag from New Jersey up to Maine. Now, I know the girls can appreciate this. For some reason, this time I had every outfit picked out, and I had the jewelry, the coordinating jewelry on it, and somehow the garment bag got left behind. So I'm up in Maine and I have nothing to wear but sweatpants. And we have all these meetings we have to go to. And Jimmy's like, oh, just wear your sweatpants. I'm like, I am not wearing sweatpants to a meeting. Are you kidding me? Do you even know me? So go to Marshall's, get some outfits. Eddie and Jimmy were out doing something and Big John was in the house. And I'm like, all right, Johnny, you gotta really reach down now and be in touch with your feminine side. He's like, all right, okay, I'll do that. And sure enough, I came down in like 3 different outfits and he's like, nope, get rid of that one, Lisa. Nope, that one's too bright, and he helped me pick out my outfits for the meeting. So you have full service leaders here, guys. Okay, really full service leaders. But Julius, I loved your introduction because I have never felt normal in my entire life. I mean, my mother used to say that when I was a baby, I would crawl up on my crib and throw myself out of the crib and knock my head on the ground. She was constantly rushing me to the hospital because she thought I had concussions. But so I haven't been normal from the very start. And Jimmy said that explains a lot of things. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for having me on this call because I feel like I'm among some of the greats. Now, I have my notes. I can't speak like you guys do, just off the cuff like that. You guys are so awesome at that. But, to everyone on this call, you have such incredible leaders in your corner. I mean, they are some of the most authentic, genuine people that I know. And I know one of them a lot better than I know the other 2, but I'm getting to know them and I love them just as much. And, they are the best in the business and they have such huge hearts that are only outweighed by their true want for their teams to succeed. And they have awesome wives too, just giving the wives a plug there. But so last week I was asked to speak on Kim and Jim Mason's call about belief in the company, belief in Michael Falquist, and belief in myself. And one of the things that I touched on that call, I think warrants a little more attention than I gave it. So there are so many important components of network marketing. But the one that I want to stress, that's one of the most important of all, is to stay plugged in. It is imperative for the success of our businesses to stay plugged in to the training calls, the team calls, the Zoom calls, attend events. There is nothing that is going to replace being at in-person meetings. You know, I said last week, company events are not just gatherings. They are gold mines for growth. They just are. You know, we have to really stop and think about what kind of business we want. I mean, I think we all want successful businesses, right? So we need to make sure that we are investing our time in the company trainings that they afford to us all the time, and that our teams are doing the same thing. I mean, in a perfect world, we want to have high production with a low maintenance team, right? But this means that we and everyone on our team has to plug into the same systems, which enable us to get the same information, so we are on the same page. We all know that communication is the most important tool we have in relationship marketing. And we're given a wealth of information from the company, you know, with Facebook groups, weekly calls, training, Zoom calls. Get yourself and your teams on these calls every chance you can. And if you can't make it, then listen to the replay. It's one of the most important things that we can teach our teams, because when we plug in, we learn. And when we learn, we become more confident in ourselves, in the company, and we grow. You know, my mother-in-law, she was 93, and at 93, she said, I never want to stop learning, because when you stop learning, you stop growing. At 93. So I never want to stop learning either. And, you know, don't think we know everything, because we just don't. So get on those Zooms all the time, every night that you can, because there's so many moving parts right now, especially with community solar. And, you know, you can become an authority on community solar pretty easily. It's, you know, basic what it is. It's the fields, you plug into the field, you save money. But the playing field is different in every state. And guys, we're going to be in 50 states, okay? This is crazy. We're going to be in 50 states with community solar. So we always need to be checking our back office and staying plugged in and seeing what's changing, what's coming down the road. You know, everyone has a cell phone. And when the battery gets low, what do? We plug the cell phone in. It's like an automatic thing that we do. We don't think twice about it. We should not think twice about plugging in for our businesses and to grow our businesses. So, you know, I'll wrap this up by saying something really, really profound happened to me this weekend. I went to see the movie Cabrini, and there's not a lot of movies that penetrate your soul. This was one of them for me. I don't care what religion you are, you need to do yourself a favor and go see this movie. It's an incredible story of a woman that just wouldn't give up. Her courage and her conviction that were astounding. She changed the world with her compassion and her determination. She actually was one of the greatest network marketers and greatest entrepreneurs of all time. She created an empire. And I guarantee you that if you go see this movie, you will come out of it changed, because when you feel down or when you feel like you want to give up, you will not be able to help but think about Mother Cabrini and what she did in her life and what she was up against. An amazing, amazing story. One of the best lines, one of the many best lines in the movie was, we don't have a choice on how we come into this world, but we all have a choice on what we do with it. that just, it's amazing. But so let's do this, guys. We have a gold mine in front of us. Big John always says we have a gift. We have a gift, and we do. We have a gift to give people. We can change the lives of so many people, including our own. And I will tell you, in all the years that I have known Michael Falquist, I have never, and John can attest to this, I have never seen him this excited before, because he knows what we are sitting on here. I heard the other day, this is awful, but I heard the other day that the definition of hell is seeing all the things that you didn't do or that you didn't try, and then seeing the life that you could have had. I don't ever want to see the life that I could have had. I want to make the life that I'm having. And we just have to get out there, and we have to stay plugged in. So let's just get out and serve with our hearts, because the more we give away, the more we're going to get, guys. So don't forget about the Women of Think call. Women of Think is a great organization that we started, and we've got a great group of women that support each other and help each other. And we have our monthly call Monday, March 19th. So don't forget about that. The state of the company call. If I said to Jimmy one more time, I'm so excited for the company call. I can't wait to hear what they have to say, where we're going next. I'm hoping they're going to announce where the trip is. So it is the second Monday of every month. So the company call. So it is tonight, and I can't wait to hear it. And you guys, thank you, again, so much for having me on this call. And I really appreciate every single one of you, and that you do this every week for your teams. I mean, that you give such value. You care so much, and it's going to be a great ride together. Love you all.
Well, we love you, Lisa.
Love you too, Lisa.
Thanks for coming on, Lisa. Words of wisdom spoken from your heart, and you got a big heart, girl. And we appreciate you more than you even know, and the company appreciates you. And we'll see you Wednesday night in New Jersey, and let's talk about that. Right? Lisa talked about a gift. There's no doubt we got a gift to give. So, there's a few little stories, and then we'll close it out. There's a couple people on this call. Bella Wurzberger, probably the best promoter I've ever seen in the industry, right? Keeps people plugged in, daily chats with her teams, team calls, team trainings, gives her heart and soul. But here's what that's doing. She has a bunch of people on her team. Think about this. First time in network marketing, they were coachable. They plugged in. There was a gentleman yesterday. He's an electrical contractor. The money he's making right now is equaling his contracting business. They have a young gentleman, 22 years old, has made over $30,000 in thinking in 9 weeks, 10 weeks. Folks, if that's not a gift, what is a gift? I talked about it, folks. We all have fear. I don't care how tough you are, how brave you are. We all have fear, and that's okay. But you know what? Don't live with regret. Don't look back a year from now and say, I could have had a different life. Take action now. Promote the meetings. Get people there. Be strong. Be full of conviction. I guarantee you it will happen to you. It will happen to each and every one of you that just say, get rid of my fear and go to work. Julius, I want you to close this out, brother. And I love doing this call with you, my man.
No, thank you guys. And I want to leave you with this. And Lisa, I love you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So, So, guys, I really want you to think about this as you go through the day, because this is a moment in time. I believe every day we don't get a minute back. We're using minutes, and I want you to remember that all of us want an opportunity to say, this was my one choice that I made, and it has the real opportunity to change the trajectory of my life. And Lisa, Kirk, John, myself, we see something. We may see how big this is, and maybe you're trying to, but we all believe that it's our one more time for the last time. Join us on the trip. Stay plugged in. Invest in yourself. And guys, have an incredible week. We'll see you tonight on the State of the Company call. Be well, everybody.
Hi,
March
guys.
Madness. Let's go. March
Let's
Madness.
go.
Right. Go.